Dennis and Ronnie from Back Alley Bistro, and you're watching No Huntsville.
All right, Joe, you ready?
Yeah. Yes, I'm ready.
Thank you. This is Tom.
And I'm Joe.
And this is No Huntsville. Once again, we have another comedy episode here for everybody. The comedy scene here in Huntsville has been blowing up, so we want to blow up right along with it, just promoting everything that's going on here that's funny because, well, we're funny guys. Like we like to pretend we are, but these guys that we have come in here are definitely raising the roof? No, the bar for the comedy acts here in town. So to that, we have Curtis Rambo in here from the podcast I Know the Manager podcast, and here to promote a couple different things. But mainly we got something coming on here this weekend at Maggie Meyers, the AIDS Action Coalition. We want to definitely promote that because it's good charity. Curtis, thanks for coming in and talking to us today.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me, and this is gonna be awesome.
This is
episode.
it. This is it.
This is the episode. This is our breaker episode.
That's all I have to say.
It better. All I'm gonna say is it better be funny.
Yeah.
So okay, well, with that, let's talk about AIDS. Look how killing it. All right, no, let's get serious real quick. We got Maggie Meyers on this Sunday at 7:00. You have an event going on there to help with the AIDS Action Coalition. So talk to us about that a little bit.
So it's going to be a live podcast, and if you're listening to this podcast, then you know what a podcast is.
Right.
But some people don't know what a podcast is.
Okay.
They're like, I don't know why I'm telling this on a podcast.
This show is educational if it's not anything.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay. A podcast is basically, to sum it up, just internet radio.
Okay.
In 2 words. Internet radio.
Three
Yeah,
syllables.
2 words. I'm a comic. I'm not that smart. So, but it's going to be Sunday at 7 p.m. at Maggie Meyers, and basically it's just going to be me talking with a bunch of people. We're going to have some Huntsville comics.
Nice.
Like me and Matthew Tate will be doing a session on just the audience. So ask us some weird questions. Probably it's usually weird questions, and I give good advice, and he gives bad advice.
Right.
I think last time we was raising money for domestic violence, and I got carried away, and I was just like, you should just push her down the stairs. And then he pointed out to me, we're raising money for this, and I'm like, that's right, we are, guys, we are. And everybody just laughed. And I was like, I'm glad I didn't get it.
Well, they're there for comedy. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, it's an odd mix,
Yeah.
but whatever brings people in to donate to the cause is what the major point is. So that's really cool. Have you put on any type of events like this before? Okay, so talk to us about that.
Yeah, we did. I did a few comedy shows, but I did another live podcast in December, and that was very tremendous. I was very excited because I know even like more famous people than me try to put them on. And it's very hard to put on a live pod to get an audience out.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So, and I had like 80 people, and I was very just like, I was blown away. I was thinking like 30.
Right.
Not gonna lie,
right.
I was like 30 people show up, 80 people. I had some people from Mississippi come, and I was just like elated.
What was the cause then?
That was for the North Alabama Crisis Center, and basically they do a lot of things, but their main thing was for domestic violence, like anti-domestic violence.
Right.
I did type that on Facebook one day, and everybody was like, "Are you for it?" And I'm like, "No." I was like, "I cannot type on Facebook. Like, keep me off there." So that's what that cause was for. But this one, it was AIDS Action Coalition. I was very excited about it.
So how did you get involved with this particular cause? I mean, what is your tie into that?
Well, there's another comedian. She's actually on the committee for it.
Okay.
So,
really?
Yeah.
All right.
And
a local comedian.
Local comedians on the committee with it, and I was like, sure. And I was really worried that it was going to be really too soon to do another live podcast, to be honest. But,
okay.
A lot of people are like, I'm going. So I actually went to one of their committee meetings last Tuesday, and I was like, hey, she was like, hey, you want to come? And I was like, yeah, definitely, because I want to see what, if I can be involved, I'm going to get involved, I guess. So I sat down, and they were just planning stuff, and they were very excited about my event, but just planning other stuff. And I was glad to see, like, behind the scenes, like, what are y'all doing? You know, like, what are y'all really doing?
Yeah.
So I was very pleased. Like, I was like, man, this is awesome. Like, it got me pumped up to be like, man, I can't wait to do this. So,
Well, yeah, to make sure it's legit and to make sure that money that comes in is actually going to help
Yeah.
the event that you're trying to put together for. Sure.
Because I was very paranoid about that. I'm always paranoid about that. So,
Right.
But I went to them and they kept it focused, and I'm just like, man, this is gonna be great. Like,
Right.
I'm glad I'm doing this for y'all, and y'all will let me do this for y'all. And then I was like, but it's rated R. And they're like, that's fine. You're the one putting it on. We're just taking the money. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah, it's just, as long, like what Tom said, as long as you're bringing awareness and you're bringing money to the cause. I mean,
And comedy is
Yeah.
probably a really good way to do that. I
Yeah.
mean, there's other ways to do it, obviously, but I think comedy is one of those things that can bring just a wide variety of people in. Music is one of the other things, but I think comedy is huge to that. And
especially
I think,
now here.
Yeah, exactly. And you know when you have such a serious subject, it's sometimes not, a good way to approach it is in that sort of venue.
Yeah,
right?
make fun of it.
Yeah, you can kind of get, you have a different. It's not so somber. Well, it's not this, just depressing, because which it could be, but you kind of. You got to bring people in and make them aware of it, but also make them laugh at the same time, which seems pretty good. So, also, let's talk a little bit about, you have this podcast that you put on that people have described as interesting.
Yeah.
So on Facebook, you can find information about it. It's called I Know the Manager Podcast. You've done a number of different shows. You're trying to keep it on a regular basis. So give us the background on that podcast a little bit.
All right. Let's see. It all started 10 years ago. No.
Right.
Yeah,
Really? No, it started last year, and really, I Know the Manager was not started as a podcast. That was started, I wish I would have brung it, was with a blue mask. I wore this blue mask, and I used to do YouTube videos. And it was creepy. Like, I had crappy quality. Like, I was like, it was like, rah, rah, rah. Like, no one could hear me. People would, like, complain about it.
But it was a comedy podcast.
Kind of. I was more serious then. I was like, gay rights, yeah, or something like that. I would just talk about it. And I was like, this is not what I want to do. I want to do something comedy.
Okay, all right.
That's how that kind of started, because I was like, well, this isn't what I want to do. And then my buddy and me, we would always play Xbox. He was like, you always talk about women. Why don't you just make a YouTube video about it? I'm like, nah, no one wants to hear that. And then I did. So, so I did, and I would just make multiple ones, and then I was just like,
You made it about women?
Yeah, just about women, like
all
how
right.
to break up with women, how to get women. And,
Oh, you're giving advice?
Yeah, I was giving advice, and I had to stop that because I would have people like message me like, that kind of work, and some of that's true, but like the stuff that wasn't true, I'm just like, that's comedy, that's me being funny,
And people had a hard time like understanding the difference between the two.
I used to have a channel giving fitness advice. It was awesome. It lasted 4 weeks.
And when you say podcast, is it straight audio? There's no video. It's just an audio podcast.
The stuff I do now is just straight audio.
Okay.
Like, that way no one can see my creepy face. I figured I got tired of it. So I pretty much stopped doing the YouTube videos. Like, every now and then I'm like, I'll do one.
Right.
I think my last one, I don't even want to get too perverted, but it was something about something in a bottle. I don't know. I don't want to get too off on that. I don't know if I can, like, what can be said on
this show?
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, just whatever.
Okay.
I mean,
I did like a jizz in a bottle. Like, here, you can. You want your kid to grow up
everything
perfect?
except for that.
yeah, and now we got to bleep that out.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, so you have this podcast and now how often are you
Hilarious.
putting new content out with this podcast?
Typically every Thursday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Every week?
Thursday.
Oh, nice.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I try to do it like clockwork. Sometimes I usually have one a week, but sometimes it's not every Thursday. I got a busy life, so like
Sure.
sometimes but every Thursday you can almost guarantee I got you.
All right, and then you're also doing you do some stand up here in town as well.
I do.
So where can we see you do some stand up?
Nowhere right now. I'm not booked.
All right.
Typically Monday through Thursday we have 4 open mics. I try to hit 2 of them a week.
Okay. Tell us where the open mics
Okay.
are. We've talked about them before, but say it again so people know.
Okay. Maggie Meyers is on Monday. That one starts at 8.
Okay.
And on Tuesdays we got Partners, and that's about 7:30 if I'm not mistaken, or
Nice.
8. Then Wednesday you have Copper Top. That's the longest running one in Huntsville, Alabama.
Right.
That starts at 8 also, and then you got one at Amendment 21.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, right upstairs.
Upstairs?
Second
Oh,
floor.
no, I did
Yeah.
know that. Actually, I went to one of those.
Man, it's
Never mind.
real nice. Just
Oh,
to
they got a
see.
real nice
Yeah.
upstairs and stuff, yeah.
8 o'clock also. Then Friday, Saturday, basically, we're going to have it. 9 out of 10 times, we're going to have a show that Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They're
like
pretty
we've
consistent
been
lately.
saying for a while now, the comedy scene here in town is just blowing up. It's great and it's good, cheap entertainment. These guys
it's
are,
fun,
I mean,
too,
and they're
man.
funny guys. They really are. So everybody should be going out there. A website that we want to promote here that we haven't before, but we should be is hsvcomedy.com.
Yeah.
That's where everything's at. Oh, we just went there and looked, and there's like flyers there telling everybody what's going on every week. People should be going there, checking those guys out. It's just a great other venue that people should be checking out here in town because it's getting big and we should be doing that. So again, that's this Sunday. What's the date this Sunday?
22nd.
Okay, so
22nd,
March
yeah.
20, or sorry, February 22nd. This Sunday at 7 o'clock, come up to Maggie Meyers, support the AIDS Action Coalition. See Curtis over here, just entertaining everybody for a great cause. Come out, please support it. Support the comedy here in town. And Curtis, thanks for coming in and talking to us today, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks for
Don't
having
drink
me.
out of his bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. All right. All right. Nice. Is that good? We get everything?
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool.
Sweet.
I knew
He
that.
said jizz in a
I
bottle.
was like, I don't think
Wait,
it's-
what can we say?